JFK 40. 40 years, 40 people, 40 stories. On News Talk 820, WBAP.
There are so many what-ifs that can be asked about the events leading up to November 22nd, 1963. What if President Kennedy hadn't insisted on a convertible? What if the weather had been bad? What if Ruth Payne had not met Lee and Marina Oswald? Ruth Payne was living in Irving. She was a Quaker housewife who happened to know how to speak Russian. And in early 1963, Ruth Payne was bored.
A friend of hers in Dallas said to her, "I'm giving a party on February 22nd, and I think you'd want to come. There's this young fellow who's going to be at it who spent some time in the Soviet Union and who came home with a Russian wife. And here's a chance for you to speak Russian."
Thomas Mallon is the author of the book Mrs. Payne's Garage and the Murder of John F. Kennedy. He says Ruth Payne became enamored of Marina Oswald and eventually invited Lee and Marina to move into her garage, which had been converted into an apartment. She even got Lee a job at the Texas School Book Depository. Lee Oswald didn't drive, so he would spend his weeknights in a boarding house near the depository and then travel home to Marina in Irving on weekends. But on Thursday night, November 21st, Ruth Payne was surprised to see Lee in her front yard visiting with his wife.
The real reason he was out there that night was to pick up his rifle and to wrap it in brown paper and to take it into the depository with him the next morning, claiming it was curtain rods.
But Thomas Mallon says Ruth never knew that Lee had a rifle and certainly never knew that Oswald had tried to kill segregationist General Edwin Walker in April of 1963.
If Marina had imparted that fact to Ruth, not only do I think Oswald would not have been welcome, but I think Ruth would have gone to the Dallas police. If that had happened, somebody might have killed President Kennedy in Dallas, but I do not believe it would have been Lee Harvey Oswald, and I do not believe it would have happened from the window of the Texas School Book Depository.
For JFK 40, I'm Dan Potter, WBAP 24-Hour News.
JFK 40, The Lost Kennedy Tapes. 7 hours of WBAP recordings from November 22nd, 1963. Played back real time, Saturday morning at 11 on News Talk 820, WBAP.